Hey there, Christy here with Automation on a Mission with your latest installment of a Tidbit Tuesday. And in this video, we're going to talk about troubleshooting your calendars. Now, why does this matter? Because it's probably one of the most common pain points that we see clients struggling with. And the pain point really is, I've created my calendar settings and then I go and I look at it and they don't match. And so that could be related to your it could be related to how you've given access to, the calendar that has the appointments. It could be about your hours of availability. It could be about the settings that you're putting in your own calendar. So this is a hard thing to sort of cover, but I want to show you a tool and then also things that you could be paying attention to when it comes to your own calendar struggles or woes when and if they ever show up for you. And I'm going to share a story that just happened to me 3 days ago. All right. So, and that, like probably 2 hours I wasted on something that was so painfully obvious. Okay. So I'm going to click on calendars and I'm going to click on calendar settings and I'm going to start at the end and give you the nugget. And that would be this nifty little guy right here. So if you have a calendar already created and you go and preview it and you're like, hey, that's showing availability when I clearly have dinner with my family, or it's showing hours that are not in alignment with the settings that you've created, you can click on this little guy right here, and that's going to show you a sample of your calendar, and it's going to show you exactly why those hours are not available, or it's not going to give you all the granular details, but okay, so 9:30 is not going to be available because it has already occurred. But maybe it shows, like that you have another appointment that's preventing this from showing up properly. So that's one thing that I wanted to show you in terms of like, if you're looking at a preview of your calendar and it doesn't, like 1 + 1 is not equaling 2 in your mind, then I would start with this. Okay, and then the next thing that I would say is let's look at actual calendar settings. And I just want to make sure, because I have a tendency to break my own stuff. So we're still in the demo account. So I'm going to go down to, so number one, I want to make sure that that the right person is assigned to the calendar, because we've seen clients where it's like, well, you didn't have a client assigned, so that would be why. Other things that have a tendency to pop up is when we go to availability, the meeting times are outside of the availability of this specific contact in their profile. So for example, if Christy has availability Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in their actual profile, then anything before 10 a.m. is not going to show up. So your your personal profile is going to override any of your settings in your calendar. So if you say in the calendar that you start your day at 8 o'clock, but in your actual, I need to be mindful of not messing up my own stuff. So for example, so I say in my profile in the demo account that my day starts at 9 o'clock. And in that calendar, it starts at 8. It's not going to give anything before 8 a.m. or before 9 a.m. because this is going to be the priority, okay? The next thing that I wanted to show you is this right here. And remember I told you I would share a personal story? I was working on a calendar for a client the other day. Now, I'm not on the East Coast anymore. And when I went into their calendar, so I set everything up. It had specific days. They only wanted the calendar open on certain days, which is no big deal. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. And it was for an event, a recurring event every other week on a certain day. So I go in there and I set up all the settings, and then I preview the calendar, and it's an hour off. So instead of it opening at 10:30, it was opening at 11:30. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, why? And I came in and I looked at the settings for the user, and they were right. And what I missed was the business profile settings. So things that have a tendency to trip people up. And now this is one of those things that you probably do once and you don't do again because, you solve the problem. So things that matter is, what is the time zone of your business profile? What is the time zone of the person whose calendar it is? And for me, it was the difference of MDT versus MST. And I totally didn't notice the letter. But when I adjusted that to the appropriate actual time zone, problem solved. So my troubleshooting couldn't give me that answer, but those are some of the things that will cause people to stumble. So how can you audit? I would say start with the troubleshooting resource that exists inside the calendar settings itself, and then go back to things like your business settings, your individual personal profile settings, and making sure that all of those are in alignment with your calendar availability. So if your calendar link says 8 o'clock, then you might need to come in here and adjust your profile settings to also say 8 o'clock if you really want to be booking appointments that early in the morning. All right? As always, let us know if you have any questions. We're here to help. Thanks.